What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Super Larks Wrestling. I am your host, Brett, and TLC 2016 has just wrapped up, and this is my reaction to the action. And can I just say, it was way better than anyone was expecting, and I think that speaks for most people. It was a very, very good show. Definitely some ups and downs throughout the way, but these are just my thoughts about all of the matches on the card and where I think people can go from here. So the first match of the night that went down was the match for the Tag Team Championships, and we have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions with the Wyatts, including Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, defeating Heath Slater and Rhino. And can I just say, I am so relieved that Bray Wyatt finally has a championship in WWE. He debuted years and years ago, and he was always undercut, always given a little bit of hope, and then had it cut out from under him, and he never was able to get a championship. Now, yeah, his first championship is a tag team championship, but it's with someone like Randy Orton, a 12-time world champion, and it really raises his prestige, and there's just so many directions you could go with the Wyatt family now. They're actually a dominant force. They're the number one tag team on SmackDown now, and you can line up the babyface tag teams for them to face. Absolutely amazing. It was a great match. A lot of good spots, and the Wyatt family walking out with the titles was very good. Really, the only con is I don't really see where Heath Slater and Rhino can go from here, but they were starting to lose some steam, so I definitely think it was a positive to switch the titles. Next match was Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no disqualification match, with Nikki Bella taking the victory. I think this one was alright. It wasn't as good as I was expecting. They only really used the kendo stick, the stairs, and a fire extinguisher is inevitably what Nikki Bella used to hit her finisher and beat Carmella. I don't know. I think Carmella should have taken away the victory here. I think she needed it, but I could see why they gave it to Nikki, but it was just kind of short and abrupt. Carmella dominated most of the match. Nikki pulled out a fire extinguisher, kind of disoriented Carmella, then hit her with her finisher. It was done, and after the match, Carmella announced that she wasn't the one who attacked Nikki Bella at Survivor Series. It was Natalya, which this kind of brings Natalya back into the fray, and now Natalya and Nikki are probably going to start butting heads, and I definitely think that's good, but I don't know where Carmella goes from here. Like I said in my predictions video, Carmella was kind of starting to mold into that character, that heel persona that we were all kind of hoping for when she first turned heel. And now that she's lost, and she's lost to Nikki Bella like 2 or 3 times now on TV, I don't know where she goes from here, but we'll just have to see. Next match, which was very, very good, was The Miz defending the Intercontinental Championship match in a ladder match, and Miz winning that match. It was definitely a longer match, second longest match of the night. At the time that I watched it, it was match of the night, but I think another match on the card definitely beat it out. But The Miz was great. Dolph was great. The Miz using the ladders in so many different ways, along with Dolph. That figure 4 leg lock, using the ladder to apply extra pressure. I think that was amazing. And in the end, Miz being able to retain the title. He did use a low blow, which is all legal, but I think one of the best things is Miz was able to retain the title without outside interference from Maurice, and I definitely think that made him look really, really good. And then that promo he cut before the match, and then that promo he cut after the match was really, really good. It advances his storyline with Daniel Bryan that people are still wanting him to kind of keep on building, and I think that's going to build up to an explosion. And no guarantees, but perhaps maybe a Daniel Bryan comeback, but that's not guaranteed whatsoever. But very, very good. And congratulations to The Miz retaining the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know where Dolph goes from here, but I do think it was a smart move to keep the title on Miz. Next one, the chairs match between Baron Corbin and Kalisto. And can I just say, I mean, this match didn't blow anything out of the water, but it was a lot better than I think most people were expecting. Kalisto was great, Baron Corbin was great, and I mean, this match went on 12 minutes. It was one of the shorter ones on the pay-per-view, but I mean, most people were afraid it was just going to be a squash match where Corbin was just going to squash Kalisto. But Kalisto actually got in a ton of offense. He did a lot of cool spots, but Baron Corbin inevitably hitting that chair shot, almost like a lariat chair shot to the head, and then delivering the end of days on the stack of chairs, you know, and inevitably picking up the victory. But there were a lot of good spots. Kalisto did a lot of cool stuff. Baron Corbin's deep six on the outside, catching Kalisto in midair, was pretty awesome. And Baron Corbin winning that match is something that he definitely needed. So definitely an up right there. Next match on the card, the SmackDown Women's Championship match. And we have a new SmackDown Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, defeating Becky Lynch, powerbombing her through a table to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. I am so happy for Alexa Bliss. She definitely deserves it. And congratulations. That's really all I can say. It was a very, very good match. You know, Becky using the table for her disarmer submission was definitely very good. A lot of close calls, fighting on the top ropes, fighting on tables, between tables. And then Becky's promo that she cut after, I don't know. I mean, it was probably scripted, but it almost seemed like a shoot where she was just overfilled with emotion, and she just basically told the reporter, just get it. It's not good if you get the microphone out of my face. Like, she didn't want to talk to anybody. She was just so heartbroken that she lost her title. She was the inaugural women's champion, and this was still a young reign, and she loses it to Alexa Bliss, just slipping up 1 second. Alexa Bliss kind of using the apron to make Becky lose her balance and then powerbombing her through the table. You know, she was kind of fed up with it, really emotional, and she is probably going to use that to come after Alexa Bliss. Now she's going to probably harness that straight fire, like she likes to call it, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to go from here. With Becky and Alexa. Of course, Becky is owed her rematch, and she'll probably get that in the future. But I definitely think it is a very different dynamic now with Alexa Bliss being the champion and Becky Lynch now being the challenger. Definitely an interesting dynamic that we're definitely going to have to watch in the coming weeks on SmackDown. But congratulations, Alexa Bliss, on becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion. And now we have the main event. Oh boy. AJ Styles defending his WWE World title in a TLC match against Dean Ambrose. And this match was a doozy. A ton of cool spots. There were just so many. You know, AJ went through the announce table. Of course, there were ladders, chairs, stairs. They got out on the ramp. They got out into the crowd. They were brawling in the crowd. I mean, this match pretty much had everything. And this was definitely match of the night for my money. Going into the pay-per-view, I thought Miz and Dolph Ziggler was going to be match of the night. But this one blew it out of the water. Well, I wouldn't say that. Like, if you put these matches on a 0 to 100 scale, I would say the Miz and Dolph Ziggler was a 92. This was a 94. So it didn't really blow it out of the water. It was definitely close. But this one just got the edge over the Intercontinental title match. It was very good. It was a little bit of a misfortune that AJ had a little bit of a tear in his pants. It was really, really noticeable and really, really annoying. You tried not paying attention to it, but that wasn't possible. And then came James Ellsworth. Now, you knew he was going to get involved at some point, but it was told in an interview by Dean earlier in the night that he was chilling at home, watching on the WWE Network, you know, shameless self-promotion and everything like that. But then about 25 minutes into the match, he came out. in his neck brace and everything. You know, he's coming to help Dean, and AJ Styles is about to Styles clash him on the stairs, and Dean saves him. All right, they're still on the same page. Then Dirty Deeds onto the steps. Dean climbs the ladder. AJ gets back in the ring. They have a little punching fest. Dean forces AJ out the ring. Dean literally has the title in his hands. And then James Ellsworth comes in the ring, pushes Dean off the ladder, out of the ring, through 2 tables, and Dean is just left there, a lifeless body, just watching James Ellsworth telling AJ Styles, get in the ring, let's go. And AJ Styles slowly but surely ascends the ladder with both Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth watching, unhooks the title, and retains the SmackDown Championship, the WWE World Championship. A James Ellsworth heel turn has just happened. I don't think anybody saw this coming, and I definitely didn't see this coming. If there was going to be any turns, I was expecting Dean Ambrose turning on James Ellsworth, maybe after the match, like James Ellsworth comes out to try to help him, but he ends up costing him, and Dean turns on Ellsworth. But Ellsworth turning on Dean, holy macro, nobody saw this coming. I truly think nobody saw this coming, and if somebody says they did see this coming, then I think they're a liar. But there are many directions you can go here, but you have to be careful. Because the way you've built James Ellsworth up to this point is he's kind of a goofball, jobber almost. He's not really a serious character, and he's he's riding Dean's coattails. But now he's a heel, and he's on the same page with AJ Styles, and now he's probably going to be feuding with Dean Ambrose. I just don't see how that fits James Ellsworth's character. I don't see how it fits him in my mind, but maybe they have something else planned for him. I really don't know. But the one thing that it did do is it's causing us to tune in on Tuesday and see what happens. That's what this pay-per-view did really, really well, is it wasn't the most exciting superstars and the most exciting matches. I mean, there were some exciting moments here or there, and definitely some shocks, like Bray Wyatt winning his first title and Alexa Bliss winning her first title here in WWE. The Miz retaining, him furthering his story with Daniel Bryan. There was a lot of good moments. It just wasn't the most star power in the world, but the one good thing that it did is it created a lot of moments that you want to see how they transpire in the coming weeks on the road to the Royal Rumble and eventually going towards WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is not that far away anymore, and the storylines and the seeds for those storylines are starting to be laid. We kind of already know the main event scene, but the seeds are starting to be laid for kind of that mid-card, the meat and potatoes of WrestleMania is really starting to be laid just about now before the Royal Rumble. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. So those are that's my reaction to the action. TLC 2016 is now over. It was a good show. I usually rate things out of 10, and I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Going into it, I thought it was going to be more of a 5.5, maybe a 6, but I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It was a nice, solid show. There wasn't really anything too bad. It was a lot of good moments, a couple maybe questionable booking decisions, but not really anything too irrational. Very good, a lot of good moments. So 7 out of 10 is what I'm going to give this pay-per-view. And that is my reaction to the action. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like down below. What did you think of the pay-per-view? Did you think it was good, bad? What would you have changed in the booking decisions, or how the show would have went? You can leave that in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this if you haven't already. This has been Super Larks Wrestling, and like I always say, don't forget to be awesome.